Today is a big one. It's how to find a good contractor. I could probably talk for 4 hours about this, and I wish there could be some simple answer to it. The best thing anybody ever told me about a contractor is that there are three components of a contractor. There's good work, quality work, there's good price, and then there's speed, right? So speed, cheap, and good. Those are the three components. If you find somebody that's got all three, keep them forever. Most of the time, you're going to get two. I'm sorry. Most of the time, you're going to get one, right? Most retail contractors out there probably do very good work, but they're not cheap and they're not fast. They're not good for our business. Um, Usually, if you're the good ones, you got to pick two, right? So in general, most of the time, it's going to be fast and cheap in our line of work, and the quality isn't going to be as good. You've got to understand that. You've got to understand a lot about contractors. Most of them don't know what they're doing. Most of them were tradesmen, like they worked for someone. They were a carpenter, or they were a plumber, or an electrician, or an apprentice, and then they went into business for themselves. And most of them don't know what they're doing. So, how to find the good one? Obviously, the number one place is to speak to other investors and get referrals from people that are good. People that are going to be honest with you, not a guy who did one job. And let me explain why. Most contractors also are going to do a good job or a cheap, less expensive job for you in the beginning. Most contractors will then raise their prices or turn to crap. We worked with a lot of contractors who were good on our first job. We wanted to give them multiple jobs at a time, and the guys could not manage multiple jobs at a time. And then we told them we only want to give them one job at a time, and they got upset and started raising their prices every time we got a quote from them. That's a very, very common thing. In the beginning, the relationship is really, amazing because the contractor has this promise of what the one thing he wants, which is steady work. The reason why a contractor wants steady work, believe it or not, is not so that he makes steady money, but it's so that he can keep paying the guys who work for him so that they'll stay with him. It's a crazy system going on here, right? Because that guy just wants steady work so that he can keep paying the guys. But very often these guys don't know how to run a business. And it becomes a problem. Most contractors are not good. How to find a good contractor? So there are a few ways to look. The first one, as I said, is to speak to other people. The other way is to actually stop when you see a job site, go in there and talk to them. Get quotes. The real key to getting quotes and to finding guys who are cheap. And the only one of those three components that you're going to know in the beginning is cheap, and that's if you really do a good job of giving out a scope of work, a very detailed scope of work, saying what you need to multiple contractors, and then getting back bids. That's the only way you'll know cheap. You're not going to know fast, and you're not going to know good. Believe it or not, even if you go to a job site, and we've done this and seen immaculate tile work, amazing tile work, that doesn't mean that tile guy is going to work for your contractor that you hire. You can hire somebody else who stinks. That's happened to us a few times. So the only thing you can really know is the cheap part, not the good and not the fast part. And the only way to really know that is to get very, very detailed scopes of work so that everybody is comparing apples to apples and not different deals. Very, very often you tell a guy, I want to do this and that, you walk through it and the guy will give you a number, and then afterwards you find that it didn't include a million things that you thought it did. And the other guy that you spoke to did include it, and really that guy was less expensive, even though his first number to you was more expensive. These things happen all the time. It's one of the hardest parts of the business by far. It was a tremendous struggle for us, and it caused us a huge amount of aggravation and worry over things. Contractors say they're going to do something and they don't do it. Contractors tell you they're going to be somewhere and they aren't. And you don't want to be babysit. And most contractors need to be babysat. And it's a problem. It's a big problem. It was one of the reasons why we moved away from doing massive gut rehabs on every property towards less work. Contractors are a huge issue. There's no easy way around it. If you find somebody who's great, who really, literally 2 out of the 3, if somebody who's good and cheap, even though he's slow, or he's good and fast, and he's a little more money, obviously that money has to still work, it's somebody you should hang on to forever. So I don't have a great answer, I'm sorry, but the number one place to find them is other rehabbers. Talk to them. Good people should tell you who they use. Some people won't share contractors, and those are the people you got to wonder about. But people with an abundance mentality who've done this before are the people you should speak to.